our continuous, constant, regular study of Shastras should be seen in the clarity of understanding regarding the truth, the self, the reality, and its relation with the world, and how I myself, keeping myself away from the reality, getting bound by myself in variety of upadhis. Then, same way, the result of study of the Shastra is should be in terms of the strong inner inspiration and willingness to come back to the identity with one's own self. Again, the result of study of Shastra is very, very clear understanding regarding how to achieve this thing. If these three things we are able to know unambiguously, then our study of Shastra is happening correct, proper way. So maybe with that attentiveness, regularly listen, regularly contemplate or do mananam till all these things happen. Any break gaps given in between, again, all that is gained is gone or lost. We will be going back to again the first position. Again, to come back, equal amount of effort, struggles, even perhaps more we may have to put. So, a very beautiful, regular being in the class, this habit has come to us. With little more added efforts, let us become introverted and internalize whatever we are listening or studying. Let the time for contemplation be increased, in which what is heard in the Upanishad we are trying to truly, deeply, unambiguously understand. Let us go to that next level, not to the earlier level of not at all listening to the Shastra. If we go back again to the worldly life and on the name of some devotions, upasanas, just consider that alone as spirituality. Definitely, we get those benefits, but not as great spiritual evolution as which we get when through study of Shastra and the said sadhanas when we do. So, keeping this in mind, let all odds happen outside, inside. Let all temptations come, let all obstructions come at the body level, mind level, or vyavahara level. All these we can't avoid, they all come to us because of self created prarabdha. So, not only those self created prarabdha inflict miseries to us, they also have the tendency of taking us away from the path. So, we have to guard ourselves from all of them. In other cases, the lazinesses will occupy some people, or some people feel that they have become old or exhausted or heard so much now we are tired. Some others have it is heavy, boring, and some others find interest somewhere else. So these are the different tricks the mind plays to take away one from this most divine spiritual self unfolding path. Some people with some ego, some others with some other temptations, some other with taking up some other projects which consume their days and year. So, in this way, there are many, many ways in which we can get distracted from this beautiful path of regularly listening to Shastras, studying the Shastra, contemplating on the theme, the Brahma Tattva given in the Shastra, getting convinced about it, trying to reach out to that experience. Every day, every moment, we have to put the efforts. Every day, every moment, there are all these tests or obstructions. Nobody can avoid them. So, with the faith in ourselves, with the faith in the Shastras, with the faith in the theme set in the Shastra, with the faith in our Guru Parampara, and with the faith in our own Ishtadevata, whom we are worshipping every day. We have to be on this path, come what may. Slip away from this, again gone to the same old life of Upadhi level of life. It is no ending. There is no end. You have seen already. There is no end to mental thoughts about the worldliness. There is no end to the desires. There is no end to the obligations, duties. There is therefore no end to the worldly involvements unless we put an end. Slowly, steadily. This is how, not knowing this thing, people for millions of lives as a jiva go through by doing various karmas to go through karma phala, so many lives. In that they may even go to Swargaloka, come back, Naragaloka, come back, Pashupakshi Yoni, come back. In the human again, the rich or poor, or intelligent or not so, powerful or powerless, isolated or with group. Every of these experiences, every one of us have gone multiple times so far. That whole thing is called samsara. So, to eject out of it and discover our oneness with the infinite is the akame, is the ultimate perfection a human being or a jiva is expected to achieve or evolve to. So may we all get clear understanding and conviction of this, and with calm and quiet and joyful mind, take initiative, go on doing sadhana, in between added inspirations and giving little more time and interest, and when again once it becomes heavy, little reducing the speed. Again, when the things are convenient, conducive, again intensify. In this way, our effort should be only in digesting the Shastra Jnana, convincing about the truth, knowing clearly the sadhana to be done, and keep on doing it. So may it happen to all we regular serious seekers by the grace of Shruti Mata, Guru Parampara, Ishta Devata and Parabrahma Tattva. Now welcome, like every day today too, we will have our chanting, we will have our Taittiriya Upanishad, starting the Bhrugu Valli, which we concluded the Brahmananda Valli yesterday. Wonderful Valli, again this one, telling us about the sadhana to be done to experience the Brahman, which is said to be proved to be existing in our heart as Sadvastu, as our own self. Practically will be shown through the Akhyayika or the story as to how the sadhana done and the siddhi achieved by the great Bhrugu. Then we'll go for our Yoga Darshanam. We will see the four grades in which the kleshas express. Then we'll go to our Mundaka Upanishad. There again, the Brahma Tattva being difficult, repeatedly the meditative techniques are taught for knowing the truth. In Gita also, Shubha Shubhale Reva Moksha say, this is how by offering everything to the Lord, we have to become free from all the inner good or bad samskara, become qualified for knowing the truth. So too in Bhagavatam Dvadasha Skandham, we will see today the continuation of the Bhagavan's Anga Upanga Ayudha Varna Parshada Varnanam. 10th Skandha, we will conclude Rukmaniji's answers to Bhagavan. And today we'll have in our Ashtottara Shatanamavali Dakshinamurti. Good, today is Monday also. Now today onwards, let us change our chanting for some time. Let us do our Taittiriya Upanishad Parayanam. 3 rounds, then we go back for other Parayanam. Om Parayanartham Taittiriya Upanishada. अथ प्रथमा शिक्षावल्ली सहना अथ प्रथमा शिक्षावल्ली शन्नो मित्रः शं वरुणः शन्नो भवत्वर्यमा शन्न इन्द्रो बृहस्पतिः शन्नो विष्णुरुक्रमः नमो ब्रह्मणे नमस्ते वायो त्वमेव प्रत्यक्षं ब्रह्मासि त्वामेव प्रत्यक्षं ब्रह्म वदिष्यामि ऋतं वदिष्यामि सत्यं वदिष्यामि तन्मामवतु तद्वक्तारमवतु अवतु माम् अवतु वक्तारम् ॐ शान्तिः 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 शिक्षां व्याख्यास्यामः वर्णस्वरः मात्राबलं सामसन्तानः इत्युक्तशिक्षाध्यायः सहनौ यशः सहनौ ब्रह्मवर्चसम् अथातः संहिताया उपनिषदं व्याख्यास्यामः पञ्चस्वधिकरणेषु अधिलोकमधिज्योतिषमधिविद्यमधिप्रजमध्यात्मम् तामहा संहिता इत्याचक्षते अथाधिलोकं पृथिवी पूर्वरूपं द्यौरुत्तररूपम् आकाशः सन्धिः वायुः सन्धानम् इत्यधिलोकम् अथाधिज्योतिषम् अग्निः पूर्वरूपम् आदित्य उत्तररूपम् आपः सन्धिः वैद्युतः सन्धानम् इत्यधिज्योतिषम् अथाधिविद्यम् आचार्यः पूर्वरूपम् अन्तेवास्योत्तररूपम् विद्यासन्धिः प्रवचनकं सन्धानम् इत्यधिविद्यम् अथाधिप्रजम् माता पूर्वरूपम् पितोत्तररूपम् प्रजासन्धिः प्रजननकं सन्धानम् इत्यधिप्रजम् अथाध्यात्मम् अधराहनु पूर्वरूपम् उत्तराहनुरुत्तररूपम् वाक्सन्धिः जिह्वासन्धानम् इत्यध्यात्मम् इति मामहा संहिताः य एवमेतामहा संहिता व्याख्याता वेद सन्धीयते प्रजया पशुभिः ब्रह्मवर्चसेनान्नाद्येन सुवर्गेण लोकेन ॐ शान्तिः 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 ॐ ॐ ॐ सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहैः ॐ शान्तिः 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 ॐ नमो ब्रह्मादिभ्यो ब्रह्मविद्या सम्प्रदायकर्तृभ्यो वंशऋषिभ्यो महद्भ्यो नमो गुरुभ्यः निधये सर्वविद्यानां भिषजे भवरोगिणां गुरवे सर्वलोकानां दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः ॐ सदाशिवसमारम्भां व्यासशङ्करमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्परां शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पाद शङ्करं लोकशङ्करम् ॐ करुणावरुणालय पालय मां भवसागरदुःखविदूनहृदं रचयाखिलदर्शनतत्त्वविदं भवशङ्करदेशिकमे शरणम् ॐ ब्रह्मानन्दं परमसुखदं केवलं ज्ञानमूर्तिं द्वन्द्वातीतं गगनसदृशं तत्त्वमस्यादिलक्ष्यम् एकं नित्यं विमलमचलं सर्वधी साक्षिभूतं भावातीतं त्रिगुणरहितं सद्गुरुं तन्नमामि ॐ परब्रह्मणे श्रुतिमात्रे समस्तब्रह्मविद्याचार्येभ्यो ऋषिभ्यो मुनिभ्यो गुरुभ्यो देवताभ्यो नमः श्रीवेदव्यासवैशम्पायने याज्ञवल्क्य आद्यशङ्करादिगुरुभ्यो नमः अस्मद्गुरुभ्यो नमः तेषां सर्वेषां कृपानुग्रहेण उपनिषदुक्त ब्रह्मात्मैक्यबोधस्य अस्मिन् क्षणे एव अनुभवसिद्ध्यर्थं सनातनधर्मस्य वैदिकहैन्दवसंस्कृतेः पुनरुत्थान पुनर्जागरण विश्वव्याप्तिद्वारा विश्व आध्यात्मिकप्रगतिद्वारा विश्वशान्ति कल्याण एकदा प्राप्त्यर्थम् अस्मिन् धर्मसंस्थापनकार्ये ये भक्ताः निष्ठिताः कङ्कणबद्धाः तेषां सर्वेषां सदा सर्वदा समस्तशत्रुविघ्नबाह्याभ्यन्तरनिर्मूलननिवारणद्वारा क्षेम आयुरारोग्य क्षेमस्थैर्यादि सत्संपदा साधना सानुकूल्यता शक्तीनां प्राप्तिद्वारा दिग्विजयार्थं श्रीकृष्णयजुर्वेदान्तर्गत तैत्तिरीय आरण्यकान्तर्गत तैत्तिरीय उपनिषदः पारायणम् आद्यशंकर भाष्य समेत अध्ययनं वयं सर्वे करिष्यामहे। ओम यस्माज्जातं जगत्सर्वं यस्मिन्नेव प्रणीयते येनेदन्धार्यते चैव तस्मै ज्ञानात्मने नमः। यैरिमे गुरुभिः पूर्वं पदवाक्यप्रमाणतः व्याख्याताः वेदान्ताः तान् नित्यं प्रणतोऽस्म्यहं। तैत्तिरीयकसारस्य मयाचार्यप्रसादतः विस्पष्टार्थरचयिनां हि व्याख्येयं सम्प्रणीयते। ओमथ शांति मंत्रः। ओम शन्नो मित्रः शं वरुणः शन्नो भवत्वर्यमा शन्न इंद्रो बृहस्पतिः शन्नो विष्णुरुक्रमः। नमो ब्रह्मणे नमस्ते वायो त्वमेव प्रत्यक्षं ब्रह्मासि त्वामेव प्रत्यक्षं ब्रह्मावादिशं ऋतमवादिशं सत्यमवादिशं तन्मामावीत तद्वक्तारमावीत आभीन्माम् आवीद्वक्तारम्। ओम शांति शांति शांति। Respected friends, welcome. Salutations to Parabrahma Tattva, Shruti Mata, Brahma Vidya Acharya, Sri Shimani Gurugana, and also our Ishta Devata. We have to start the Bhrugu Valli third one today. Before that, for a couple of minutes, the last portion of the Brahmananda Valli, which was discussing about why the Sadhu Akaranam, Papa Karanam, do not touch the wise man, as it touches or influences the avidwan is being discussed there. The answer given here, ube punya papehi yasmat evam eshaha vidwan ete atmanam atmarupena eva punya pape svena vishesha rupena shunye krutva आत्मानं स्पृणुते एव कः यः एवं वेद यथोक्तम् अद्वैतम् आनंदम ब्रह्म वेद. So the one who has ekamevadvayam brahma ananda, who has discovered in his core of heart, to that person, because the punya papa related all aspects have become zero in him, nullified in him. Therefore, punya papa do not touch. So, what are the ingredients that are required for doing the punya papa? First of all, the jiva bhava. Second, identifying with the mana. Third, in the mana, the sankalpa vikalpa, some kamana has to come. Then, through the indriyas and sharira, the karma has to be done. Then the phala of that karma only in the form of sukha or dukkha comes, depending on that karma being punya or papa. Now, to this jnani, there is no vishesha separation of any of these ingredients as if away from him, apart from him. Therefore, be attentive. In and through all these, he is touching the self only. Only in the ignorance of the self and in the birth of jiva and upadhi and in the birth of seeing the world as separate, that out of some desire in the mind, that punya or papa are committed or done. Then only of its phala of arrogances or guilts or regrets they come. So for him, what is said here, Punya Pape Svena Vishesha Rupena Shunya Krutva. So everything related to Punya Papa, as we said now, ingredients, all of them are for him his own self only. There is nothing other than the self. So the Visheshana, that they are something other than me, Shunya Krutva, he has made it zero. Shunya kar diya. So there is no sin or merit in one's own self. We can commit sin or merit towards something or the being which is away from us, apart from us, other than us. And therefore, the first sin is to consider the world of things and beings as something other than us. Thereafter, all the papa starts, its result comes. But this Vidwan, in his experience, there is nothing as there are the Upadhis, Veshti or Samashti, or any of the world things and beings as separate from him. Therefore, not only he doesn't do the Punya Papa, but through his involvement in the world, when it is required, as per the rule or the law of Bhagwan, as per Samashti Seva he has to do or chosen by the God. Not only Punya Baba doesn't touch him, the third thing is what? Atmanam Smrunuteva. Means what? In and through all his interactions, he is touching the cell phone. He is contacting the self only. There is nothing called as other than self towards whom he has some emotional feelings of any sort which tempts, prompts an avidwan to commit the punya or pap. So पुण्य पाप करने के लिए जो जरूरत वाला द्वैत है वो नहीं है इनमें. उपाधियां हैं जो मेरे से अलग वो नहीं है. संकल्प विकल्प और कामना तृष्णा, they are not there. In fact, there is nothing called as a world other than me at all, towards whom I can do papa or punya. On the other hand, atmanam sprunute means what? He is enjoying seeing his own self in and through everything. The drama Punya Papa Swarga Naraka Sukha Dukha is only for the Jiva at the Upadhi level of Antakarana and Bahya Karana. When one has gone beyond all of that, there will be no this realm of Punya Papa. There is only the realm of Sarvam Atma, Sarvam Brahma, Sarvam Ekameva Dvayam Brahma. Therefore, the earlier done Punya Papa, the result of that will go to the ones who worship or censure that great Mahatma. And in the present, whatever he is doing doesn't fall in the purview of Punya or Papa. Because he himself as an individual not there. Then what happens? Through his upadhi is that which is in the interest of the world. We can say as decided by the divine law or Lord. But him, the Yidagam Avava Natapati. Kimahagam sadhana karavam, kimahagam papam akaravam iti. So the papa punya are for those who have not yet realized the self. For an avidwan, he should avoid papa, he should do the punya, he should make the antakarana shuddha, then he have to discover self. The one who has already completed all these journeys and reached the self. In his mind, there are no thoughts of the world being other than him. Therefore, in his mind toward the world, the attachment or hatred never comes before. Therefore, through his life, the punya or papa karma never come. As a result, a beautiful thing is what? Yah evam veda yathoktam advaitam anandam brahma veda. This happens to whom? The one who has Veda experienced Atman, the self, which is to be, which is as Advaitam and Anandam. To such Vidwan, this is the result of no sparsha by Papa or Punya. Then, Tasya Atma Bhavena Drushte Punya Pape Nirvirye. Because the everything of the Punya Papa, which is Punya Papa to others, is seen as his own self. So the Swarga is my own self. Naraka is my own self. The karana of that punya is my own self, papa in my own self. In that, the karta, the upadhi, everything is Atma Swarupena, he is seeing. Therefore, because of the Atma Bhava Drushti, Punya Pape Nirvirye. The Punya Papa become Nirvirya, unproductive. Therefore, Atapake. So, etagam havava natapati, what is said here is concluded here, atapake. And also, not only that, one more thing, these punya papa not only give us tapa to us, but they also become cause of uttara janma. Means he, as a jiva, is forced to enter into different deha ityadi to go through the result of all punya papa. And all this is because of avidya, mind you. All this because of ignorance. Now, this Atmagnani, this Brahmagnani, removed that avidya by vidya and he has established in Ananda, Brahma, Atma, Sarupa. Because of this, in him, the identity with everything is there. Therefore, the Punya Papa Karma are Nirvirya in him. Therefore, Atapake. And not only that, Janmantara Arambake na bhavataha. In him there are no vasanas to be forcefully taken birth and again go through helplessly all the sufferings, continuously, endlessly, as we have seen in our life. We have no remedy other than going through the life's drama of Sukha Dukha as a jiva under ignorance. But a wise man, yatra yatra manoyati, tatra tatra samadhaya, in that way, for him, everything being self of this janma, and in every janma, the inflictions of dukkha, which can never avoid, they are not at all there. So this is called as videha mukti, we can say. Yeah? He is already jivan mukta because he has discovered that truth, that substratum. Satyam jnanam anantam brahma brahmavidapnoti param. Therefore, no janmantara arambhake. They will not have, such jnani has no punya papa residue or the samskara which become cause for his uttara janma. And about this janma, as we already saw, anywhere we are born, other than as the self, when we are with the upadhis will be there, and the upadhis definitely condition our freedom. Brahmadeva also is conditioned by his own upadhi and the work of continuously creating. Whether he is enjoying or getting frustrated, that is secondary. But he is compelled by that work of the upadhi. Indra, Varuna, Vayu, everyone, when he is born, he will be inflicted by the limitations of the upadhis. Once we are conditioned, there is no freedom. There is experience always of the bondage limitation only. But for this jnani, because he identifies with himself everything at the subtlest Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma level, there is nothing other than him to do the punya or papa and to suffer its consequences. So that is the meaning of etagam hava vanatapati. Kimahagam sadhuna akaravam, kimahagam papam akaravam iti. Saya evam vidwan ete atmanaggasprunate. Through them also he is touching the self only. Ubehi eva ete atmanaggasprunate. So through these two things, he is touching the self, not going away from the self. Because having established in the self, for him, everything is that supreme truth, that supreme substratum, that supreme Brahman, that supreme real self only. So therefore, starting from the first step of avidya, of considering something as other than us, is the beginning of forcing us to do all the punya papa, also dharma and all. And they in their result bind such ignorant person. So my ignorance is making me do all this, and that doing is binding me to samsara chakra. When I gain my own knowledge of the self, because of the ignorance is gone away, its consequent results of all this chakkar is not there to be. This is the essence of that particular mantra. Saya evam vidvanete atmanagga sprunate uvehi vaishayete atmanagga sprunate ya evam veda. And to all others, there is always regret and guilt. Why I have not done good, why I have not done bad. You may ask a question, but if somebody is there, he has done all the punya only throughout the life. Dana dharma he has done, yajna he has done, upasanas he has done, never done even a one activity of any sin or papa or harming anyone. Now, what will the regret of sadhu na akaravam, papam akaravam he can have? So he also can be great, is it not? So the answer is compared to others, he is great. Even in him also, some regret definitely will be there of not doing the sadhu, and that sadhu is a spiritual evolution. That regret, guilt, the ego may not feel outside, who is the achiever of all these punya. But within the ego, the jiva will feel that I am given this human life for knowing my essential self. Instead of that, I have done everything else. So he will have the feeling of I have not done the sadhu because I have not put my effort for self unfoldment. And remember, till the self unfoldment or the experience comes, even though we are on the path of pure self realization only, still the regret will come because ultimate to reach nahi kiya na abhi. Therefore, that not reaching the ultimate in this life to a true genuine seeker becomes the source of inspiration to take up only that path in his further lives for evolution. Is it not like a bhogi says, in this life I have not enjoyed, next life definitely I will enjoy. The bhoga can be of the eatables or the seeables or the powers or positions or whatever it may be. So, to a pursuer like you and me of this Brahma Jnanam, we also will have the regret if we have not realized at the end of our life. Maranakale asanne. Maranakale asanne. But then that is what prompts us to take up only this path next life. So one regret is negative, another is positive. Higher than these two is what? Why even I have to wait for the next life? In this very life only, I'll try by giving up everything, discover myself. That is what was said as those four sadhanas. Shrotriyatva, avrujinatva, akamahatatva, eshanatraya varjanam. With these four outer and inner preparations, and with the knowledge about the Brahman, his Swarupa Lakshana and his Upalabdhi Sthana, and the technique to discover, which is so far said, when one tries for that in a secluded place, one can recognize that self anubhuti, which will happen in any of the life. Why not in this life itself? After that, these regrets, guilts, sadhuna akaravam, papam akaravam, natapati. So, million lives we may have in any life. If we have not recognized the Brahman, these two regrets, guilts will be there. Kimahagam sadhuna akaravam, papam akaravam. That means any life which is not tried to realize the self or not realize self is a wasted life. Now, this is how the consequence of this we have to catch in this sublime, subtler manner. Now, this depends again the thickness or thinness and sensitivity of that human being. He is very thick-skinned and like a buffalo, only dehadit adatma he has got. He will never have the regret guilts that have not done spiritual sadhana. He may have the regrets as we just now said, he have not enjoyed the bhoga completely. No, if that person is of that type, he is not at the level of Upanishads. We are talking or addressing those people who are very subtle, very pure in heart, and are at the level of Upanishads. To them, this is the thing. If the self is recognized, these two will not do the tapa. Etagam havava na tapati. But if the self is not realized, etagam tapati. and the effort to reach the self is better than doing something else. In that also, tapa will be there because we are not realized. But that will be the source of strength and inspiration and initiative in our next lives to right from the beginning take this up and reach out. The example of Narada, the example of Bharata when he came as Jada Bharata. So many we can see with that earlier lives, maximum sadhana done but not completely achieved. They made such a strong sankalpa desire that next life will be our last, in which we first and foremost give priority. Our only priority is to discover self. And right from beginning they are into that. You can see even now, countable only on the fingers. Some are there who, from the beginning, childhood, only that japa or upasana or Bhagavad Dhyana. Right from beginning, more and more. So maybe in a decade or two or three, they'll be touching that core. I say, okay. So these examples should make us think about where do we stand at this present moment in our evolutionary the very clear, undoubted picture to our intellect should come, and that we have to keep on living for. Like one thing we are doing nothing important than studying Shastra. यहाँ तक आ गए. But in the Shastra, the self which is described, nothing important than understanding it. Third, after understanding, nothing important than realizing it. And for that, the different preparation to bring our mind to focus and single pointedness and subtlety and purity, and with that mind intellect on the seat of Dhyanam, trying to seek and search the self, the truth. Very clear, unambiguous. What about all else? That is unreal. It is all my own expression. So that my own expression world is binding me. So non-expressing my real self, I am trying to discover now for my realization. That's how we have to be very clear in our picture. And in the last paragraph, what is said is iti in this way. Ityupanishatu. This is the mantra, no? Last one. कि य एवं वेद इत्युपनिषतो. So य एवं veda means yatoktam advaitam anandam brahma veda. So as said in the same procedure, the one who discovers ekameva advayam brahma as his own self and that is blissful for that person. Tasya atma bhavena drushte punya pape nirvirye atapake janmantara arambhake na bhavataha. That is the meaning of ya evam veda. In that mantra. The one who knows like this, the Brahman, the new Janma Arambhaka, Punya Baba, they are no more there. They were ilve Jivan Mukta already, later on ilve Videha Mukta. Ya Evam Veda. This is, in the mantra Pushpa also, Ya Evam Veda, Yoba Mayetanam Veda, Ayatanavan Bhavati. So Anilayanam as it is said here. So that is a pure Vedantic mantra, that one, where yeah, Evam Veda, the one who knows all these Pranchamahabhutas as his own self, he will find his abode everywhere. All that great meaning. So here also, yeah, Evam Veda. So the one who knows the Brahman as self and as Ananda Swarupa in his own self, and there is nothing other than him, to that person, these Punya Papa don't touch you. They are no Vasana Samskara made, and there is no further births are there, and even existing Vasana Samskara also are burnt. Maximum you'll have only the Prarabdha of this Deha. That nobody can avoid. So that is the meaning of this last Anuvaka. यतो वाचो निवर्तन्ते अप्राप्य मनसा सह आनन्दं ब्रह्मणो विद्वान् न बिभेति कुतश्च नेते एतगं हवावन दवते किमहगं साधुना करवं किमहगं भावमकरमविधि स एवं विद्वानेते आत्मानग्ग स्फुरते उभेः वैशयेते आत्मानग्ग स्फुरते य एवं वेद. Up to this we have seen. The last one now, it Upanishata, Ityupanishata, Iti Upanishata. Iti means Iyam, Evam, Yathokta, Asyam, Valyam, Brahma Vidya. All that is called as Upanishatu. So iti and Upanishad are the two words of main mantra. In between adding so many words, he is making the completeness of the sentence. Bhashyakara. What is it? Iti iyam evam yathokta asyam valyam. Iti means iyam evam yathokta asyam valyam. This which is said in this valley in this manner. This which is said in this valley in this manner. What is it? Brahma Vidya. That Brahma Vidya is what? Is the Upanishad. And what is its glory? Bhashyakara with his experience adding there ki sarvabhya vidyabhya paramarahasyam darshitam iti arthaha. Among all the vidyas, the secret most, supreme most, like in Gita 9 chapter, Raja Vidya and Raja Guhya Yoga. In the same way here, ki sarvabhya vidyabhya paramarahasyam darshitam iti artha. The purpose of saying iti Upanishad is to tell that the Parama Rahasyam regarding among all the Vidyas is being revealed. Oh, my dear disciples, like that. Shruti Mata is saying, oh, sadhakas. So, Sarvabhya Vidyabhya Paramarahasyam. And in fact, all other Vidyas are avidyas. On the name of Vidya, we involve in them only to get bound. So, this is the Paramarahasya Vidya. Why Rahasya? Because it is about that self which is in the guha of every being. And unless one goes there, one cannot know it. Therefore, it is Parama Rahasya. And only this Brahma Vidya Rahasya takes one to that gufa and reveals one to one's own real self and liberates. And no other Vidyas, the other knowledges can take one to that deeper self level. Therefore, Paramaha Rahasya bhi. Param is Utkrishtam, greater than greatest. Because this is the only one which gives moksha. The Rahasyam because everybody, though given, may not take. Everybody also not given. Bhagavan also will not supply the acharyas who talk on the Upanishads and Bhashyas more frequently or everywhere. Because the jivas are not qualified for it. And they are given those acharyas who talk about the upasanas or yoga and other etc. They are at that level. Nor even the convenience also Bhagavan gives a very, very, very rare. Where he chooses some places only the Paramarasya Brahma Vidya Satsanga goes on. And even if somebody tries forcibly to tell, the people will not receive it. They go away. And some are like us, they continue saying only to sustain the Guru Parampara, sustain the Shastra Jnana Parampara, and for one's own understanding and clarity. But other than that, this is Paramarahasyam, Darshitam Ityartaha. And the punchline of all is this Ki Param Shreyaha Asyam Nishannam Iti. So the ultimate good is hidden in this Brahma Vidya practice and Anubhuti only. The supreme good, Paramashreya, Asyam Nishannam. So if you want the ultimate good, that is only in getting liberated from all limitations. And that experience of liberation is hidden, Nishannam, Asyam, only in this Brahma Anubhuti gained through the Brahma Vidya, gained through the Upanishad Adhyanam and Sadhana. So in this way, Param Shreya Asyam Nishannam. So should I go for any other Upasana, Yajna to get other things? Yeah, you can go. Then why are you teaching Vedanta? Should I come to that? Yeah, come. Now, what is difference between this and that? That may be Shreya, but not Paramashreya. Because all the things achieved through karma, all the things achieved as other than the self are always other than us. Therefore, they won't stay permanently with us. Therefore, how much ever noble it may be, Shreya, but it's not Paramashreya. like through upasanas, going to Ishtadevata lokas, or through the yajna and karma, going to Swargadi loka, Pitru loka. Like yesterday we were studying it Bhagavad Gita. Yanti devavrata devan pitrun yanti pitruvrataha bhutani yanti bhutejyaha yanti madhyajinopi mam. Today we are going to see Patra Pushpam Shloka for the children. So people go to different lokas. They are better than this. Like from the village coming to a town is Shreya, but not Paramashreya. From the town, go to the district headquarters, from there to state head capital, from there go to national capital, from there go to some foreign countries. That is Shreya in terms of comforts, luxuries, etc. But even there we are bound by inner our own upadhi tadatmya, our own ignorance of our essential self and maintaining separation, otherness with the world, and in the mind creation of raga dvesha. Wherever we go, that continues. To show this only, we are shown the stories of Indra, Varuna, Brahmadeva. They also falter by seeing the duality as somebody other than them, and they start feeling jealousy, etc. Like Indra sending the people, all those people to disturb Markandeya Rishi. Indra himself. And yesterday we saw in the Bhagavatam day before, after being blessed by Lord Krishna, that Indra, with the removal of Narakasura, when Bhagavan went to Indraloka, Krishna gave the Aditi Kundalam and everything. When he was coming back, she asked Satyabhama, I want this very fragrant Parijata Vriksha. When he was bringing Lord Krishna, Indra, all of them refused only, attacked only. Bhagavan has defeated them and he brought it. So that shows too that the Indra Adipada also, if that is not the recognized, the self-recognized state, then it is not Param Shreya. It is better than a human. Lot, unless we do lot of punya and upasana and yajna, we don't reach there. There's no doubt about it. But it is not ultimate. Just like in this world, you can become MLA, MP, PM, everything. But it is not ultimate. Yaha, through Brahma Vidya, ultimate is reached. Param Shreya Atra Nishannam. To say there is nothing greater than this to achieve. The acme of perfection is in recognizing Ya Evam Veda. This is what is my essential self. This Satyam Jnanamanantam Brahma, and it is one without second. That one without second, me, Satyam Jnanamanantam Brahma, alone is truth or reality. Nothing is there in the world other than it. World with all its ingredients are just projection, superimposition on that me, Satyam Jnanamanantam Brahma. This experience is called supreme most experience. That is what is given through this Upanishadic Brahma Vidya. And this Paramashreya, therefore, in this way is Nishannama Atra. Paramashreya Asyam. Asyam Brahma Vidyayam Upanishadi Nishannam iti. In this way. This is how iti Navamonu Vakaha. ఇది శ్రీమద్ పరమహంస పరివ్రాజకాచార్య శ్రీమద్ గోవింద భగవత్ పూజ్యపాద శిష్య శ్రీ శంకర భగవత కృతౌ తైత్తిరీయ ఉపనిషద్ భాష్యే బ్రహ్మవల్లి సమాప్త విత్ భాష్యం బ్రహ్మానంద వల్లి we have taken around 200 days for it, even more than that, just 9 anuvakas. So out of total 430 days today, 200 is ज़्यादा इसी को लगे होंगे. But we have tried to go through repeatedly. Now let us take opportunity to enter into the next third Bhrugu Valli. So let us chant the Shanti Mantra and Prathama Anuvaka. Then we take up the Sambandha Bhashya given by Adi Shankara, which is such a beautiful, simple, complete summary of what we have done so far in our earlier two Vallis. This is the compassion and kindness of all the Mahatmas. Like Adi Shankara, when they go further in the text, what was already covered or said, it is again reminded. Because if you forget it, then you can't build the next steps, next stages, next stairs, next floors, etc. Like in Ramayana also. Again and again, right from beginning, the Rama Katha is reminded to us through Krishna also. Somebody else or the other does the stuti of Krishna, that in your childhood you have done this or that. So that reminds us. Here also, Bhashyakara's glory is what? He gives a summary of essence of what is studied so far, then what is going to be spoken in the further, that also he says, and what is the connection between what you have already studied, what we are going to study, and in that also, what is the need of studying the new thing. When this has given us that achievement, even this clarity also Bhagavan Adi Shankara brings in his Bhashyam, Anubandha Bhashyam. He is unique. Just hold on to his feet and hold on to the feet of Bhagavan Vyasa, because he is the one who compiler, and hold on to the Brahma Tattva, Guru Parampara and our own Guru. इन 6 साल लोगों के चरण पकड़ो तो फिर पार हो जाएंगे हम अज्ञान संसार से उस तरफ. Yeah. Straight away we may not be qualified, but we'll be made qualified slowly, steadily by them if we pursue them. They are given Shastras, same with intensity and regularity, sincerity. Let us start. Om Namo Brahmadibhyo Brahma Vidya Sampradaya Kartrubhyo Vamsha Rushibhyo Mahadbhyo Namo Gurubhyaha. Om Sadashivasamarambham Vyasashankaramध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्परां व्यासाय विष्णुरूपाय व्यासरूपाय विष्णवे नमो वै ब्रह्मनिधये वासिष्ठाय नमो नमः. ॐ श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानामालयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पाद शङ्करं लोकशङ्करम्. ॐ येरिमे गुरुभिः पूर्वं पदवाक्यप्रमाणतः व्याख्याताः सर्ववेदान्ताः तान् नित्यं प्रणतोऽस्म्यहम्. ॐ शन्नो मित्रः शं वरुणः शन्नो भवत्वर्यमा शन्न इन्द्रो बृहस्पतिः शन्नो विष्णुरुक्रमः. नमो ब्रह्मणे नमस्ते वायो त्वमेव प्रत्यक्षं ब्रह्मासि त्वामेव प्रत्यक्षं ब्रह्मावादिशं ऋतमवादिशं सत्यमवादिशं तन्मामावीत तद्वक्तारमावीत आवीन्माम् आवेद्वक्तारम्. ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः. ओमथ समस्तगुरूणां देवतानां परब्रह्मणः श्रुतिमातु अनुग्रहार्थम् अनुग्रहेण सदध्ययन सत्साधना द्वारा परब्रह्म अनुभूति सिद्ध्यर्थं च श्री तैत्तिरीय उपनिषदंतर्गत भृगुवल्यायाः पारायणं श्री आद्यशंकर भाष्य समेत अध्ययनं वयं सर्वे करिष्यामहे. Just for the beginning of new Valli, to invoke the grace of all, so that we will be able to study and do the sadhana said there perfectly, these prayers and invocations and sankalpa. This is the sadhana wala. That was the upasana wala. First Siksha Valli. Second one is the Siddhanta Jnana wala Valli. Now the sadhana Valli. Like we have the Samadhi Pada is telling us the Siddhanta and for Uttamadhikari. Then for V and I, Madhyamadhikari. Second is the sadhana Pada. Here also the same. So let us do the chanting of Shanti Mantra. Let us do the chanting of Prathama Anuvaka. Let us do the study of the Bhagavan Adi Shankara. So wonderful and cute. Sambandha Anubandha Bhashya and Avatarika, which is the beginning Upakrama for the Tritiya Bhrugu Valli. Let us start. Om Atha Tritiya Bhrugu Valli. Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै. ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः. ॐ अथ प्रथमोऽनुवाकः. Om Bhrugurvai Varunihi Varunam Pitaramupasasara Adhihi Bhagavo Brahmeti Tasma Etat Provacha Annam Pranam Chakshushrotram Manovachamiti Tagam Hovacha Yato va imani bhutani jayante yena jatani jivanti yat prayantyavisamvishanti tadvijijnasasva tadbrahmeti satapotapyata satavastaktva. Great Anuvakam. Again, chant once more. Bhrugurvai Varunihi Varunam Pitaramupasasara Adhihi Bhagavo Brahmeti Tasma Etat Provacha Annam Pranam Chakshushrotram Manovachamiti Tagum Hovacha Yato va imani bhutani jayante yena jatani jivanti यत्प्रयन्त्यभिसंविशन्ति तद्विजिज्ञासस्व तद्ब्रह्मेति सतपोतप्यत सतपस्तप्त्वा. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Now, summary of the earlier two vallis, mainly the Brahma Valli. How in a capsule form, in a nutshell form, in a essence, bullet points or synopsis, summary, gist. So, this is a genius of Bhagavan Shankara, and we are able to comprehend everything. That means we have followed the Brahmananda Valli Adhyanam properly. So, Sri Adi Shankara Bhagavad Krita Upakramam for the Tritiya Bhrugu Valli. We are seeing it. I'll just chant it in one flow, then slowly we'll explain it, half of it today, tomorrow the remaining. Then we enter into first Anuvaka. Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma Akashadikaryam Annamayantam Srishtva Tadeva Anupravishtam Visheshavat Iva Upalabhyamanam Yasmat Tasmat Sarva Karya Vilakshanam Adushatvadi धर्मकम एव आनंदम तदेव अहम इति विजानीयात् अनुप्रवेशस्य तदर्थत्वात् तस्य एवं विजानतः शुभाशुभे कर्मणि जन्मान्तरारम्भके न भवतः इति एवं आनन्दवल्यां विवक्षितः अर्थः परिसमाप्ता च ब्रह्मविद्या अतः परं ब्रह्मविद्या साधनं तपः वक्तव्यम् अन्नादि विषयाणि च उपासनानि अनुक्तानि इति अतः इदम् आरभ्यते. Wow. Very wonderful it is. So, Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma. This is how this Brahma Valli started. What is this Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma? It is the Lakshana Vakya of Brahman. And which Brahman? That Brahman which when we discover in ourselves as ourselves, everything is achieved. How do you say? Because of Sutra Vakya. What is the Sutra Vakya? Brahmavida apnoti param or Brahmavida apnoti param. No, these are all the Mahavakyas. These are the important things to be kept in the heart. वो सबसे important है. But again, all that depends on our chitta shuddhi in spiritual sadhana. If we are not deep spiritual seekers, our seeking is superficial, then the most crucial mantras like this, mantra we don't remember, the meaning and purpose of that we don't remember. We dealt with this Sutra Vakya many days in our beginning days of studying Brahma Valli. Here, the whole Shruti Mata and whole Guru Parampara is telling one of the topmost important thing in this sentence. If that important information in that sentence doesn't click to us, then the entire subsequent development of the subject has no meaning in our life. So we don't listen it, we don't register it, we don't give importance to it. But if that's understood, other than studying these Upanishads and through that getting the liberation, we don't involve in anything. That is the power hidden in that mantra if we have accepted it, if we have grasped it. It looks to be simple, but in that only everything. To say precisely which we have repeated 6 months back, huh? Not that we have not said. Same thing we are repeating. What is the meaning of sentence? Ki Brahmavid apnoti param. Means the knower of Brahman. No Brahman alone, 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 param, supreme apnoti attains. Only the knower of Brahman, supreme, he obtains. Anyone who has not known the Brahman, param, the supreme most, he will not obtain. He will obtain the lesser only. Aparam. And that param alone is permanent, etc. The param all is temporary. Therefore, any effort, therefore, in life put to gain anything, do anything, know anything other than Brahman is waste because it is not param. Contrarily, conversely, any effort of ours put to near to this Brahma Tattva, all of that is whatever small, silly like looking, the chanting of the Upanishad mantra also is the best thing we are doing because it guides us towards the Brahma Vidya, achieving which is the achieving of Param. अगर ये भेजे में घुस गए ना 24 घंटे केवल ब्रह्म विद्या अध्ययनम एंड ध्यानम trying to reach the Brahman, that alone we do nothing else. Because it is the giver of Param. Apnoti Param. He obtains the supreme most, ultimate most. All other things are givers of the lesser result which are endful. Brahmavid Apnoti Param is the load on that. And we say, I don't want Param, I am happy with the Param, and then you are not fit for this. Who says, go, enjoy your Swarga Loka, enjoy your Atala Vitala Sutala Lokas, enjoy your Maharjano Tapo Loka, enjoy your Yaksha Kinnara Kempurusha Loka, enjoy your Africa, America, Antarctica, any of the nations trip. Enjoy you being in India, going everywhere, eating that, this, becoming big, powered person, moneyed person. All you get, every jiva is doing that only and getting, no? We also in this life, before coming for the Brahma Vidya, with whatever the desire we have, whatever done, we are going to get that. Who says not go? But one thing is assured that that will not be param. Bas itna samajh lo bhai. Because it's not param, you will not be paramatrupta. And because it is not param and therefore it's avaram, it cannot be. Parama means permanent. Therefore, it will end one day. When it ends, you are only zero. Mhm. You're only zero. Like the head of the whole nation called as the president, when he retires, he's only ordinary voter. That's it. All the X to laga do, it's okay, but he's only making voter. Is it not? Somebody removed from the head of the some political party. He is only a karyakarta. That's it. He is not anything. So do we also, other than Brahma Prapti, any other thing we obtain, because it is not param, it is aparam, therefore it will go away one day. Then we are back to very normal again. That is why we are saying, which text we studied it recently? Mundaka Upanishad, I think. That time we discussed. Because of the punya, we go to Swarga. Different things we enjoy, different levels and all. And we have seen already Manusha Gandharvanam, Pitruda, Ajana Jana Deva, Karma Deva, and Deva. But that even Indra Pada we enjoy, once that punya phala is over, it may be for long time. Achiram, for a very long time he may live, which is said again in Mundaka Upanishad. But even a very long time also will have its last day. And when it is over, Ruti actually, that Jiva who was so far adorned with Indrapada will be pushed to the lower levels, whatever he deserves. Even that Indrapada will not be given to him if he wants that one. दे दो ना क्या देना ये दिया बिकॉज ऑफ यू डिड लॉट ऑफ यज्ञ उपासना फिर से कर, क्या हो, फिर दे दूंगा. फिर से करके आओ, फिर दे दूंगा. हाँ, you have to do again. है ना? एक बार बस से उतर जाते हैं ना, the ticket becomes invalid. Again you enter into the bus, you have to take the ticket to travel. So, knowing this, if you can deeply know it, other than pursuing Brahman, nothing can be really appealing to us. That should be the way. That's the main achievement of study of Upanishad, whether we do it for 3 years or 30 years. If our inner whole personality is completely drenched in, soaked in, drowned in the goal as Parabrahman alone, we have helped ourselves in a best manner through study of Upanishads. After which, to achieve that Param, I will practice the Brahma Vidya. There's no other thing important. Anything which is helpful in this, I will take up. Not, no. So, in this way, the Brahma Vidapnoti Param was the Sutra Vakya. And which Brahman? Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma with Apnoti Param. सत्यम ज्ञानम अनंतम वाला लक्षण रखने वाले ब्रह्म का आपति में परम प्राप्ति होता है. So here he took up this explanation of the Rigveda mantra to begin with. कि Brahmavidapnoti param sutra vakya, and in its explanation the lakshana of the that Brahman is said as Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma. Okay. And then what has been developed there in the next topic in that Yovedita Guhayam Parame Vyoman so Ashtadesa Kaman Sarvan Brahmana Vipachita, all that is said. Okay, that all includes in that one line. Now the second portion, what is the second highlighted point? Like 1 hour news is told. Okay, in the earlier days, after the end of the news, 3 minutes they used to give the summary. 5 minutes. Mukhya Amsha bolte the. Later on, slowly it changed to the beginning. You can see in that 1990s and any news reader, well, in the English में इतना हम सुनते थे. Exactly, रात को 8:30 हिंदी वाला, 9 अंग्रेजी वाला. याद है? I'm talking about 80s, 83, 84. नमस्कार, सबका स्वागत है. आज का मुख्य समाचार 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then each one is developed. That trend is even now going on. In some channels, only main news they give, other thing, other time. So here also, the bullet points like Mukhya Samachar of the earlier Brahma Valli, Bhagavan Adi Shankara is telling. In that, the first one is Satyam Jnanam Anandam Brahma. Because this Lakshana Yukta Brahman we have to experience. Okay. Now the second bullet point is what? This Brahman only created the whole world which is there in front of us. That is what is said. Akashadi Karyam Annamayantam Sruštva. Karyam Sruštva. This Brahman alone, whose Sarupa Lakshana is Satyam Jnanavantam, he has created the effect, the Karyam. What is that? Akasha Adi Annamaya Antam. Starting from the Akasha up to the Annamaya Kosha. Remember, Akasha, Vayu, Agni, Jala, Prithvi, Oshadhi, Anna, Anna Rasa, Anna Rasamaya, Annamaya Kosha. Anna different, Anna Rasa is different. Anna Rasa Maya made, Anna Maya Kosha is different. Yeah, Anna Maya, the Stula Sharira yaha tak hai. Now, once it is said, Akashade Annamayantam Karyam Sruštva. We have to be intelligent to question ourselves. Did I understand that Srushti Prakriya, which is said? Sukamayata Bhashyam Praja Yeyeti Satapotapyata Satapastattva Idagam Sarvam Asrujata Yedidam Kincha. All those things where Bhashyakara deeply explained to us. If all that we are able to remember, means we were alert at the time of studying and we have done our sufficient homework. नहीं सब भूल गए, फिर से बोलो. मैं नहीं बोलूंगा, ऑलरेडी बोल चुका. आप सुन लो यूट्यूब में. आई तो रिमेम्बर. What is a kamana? Difference between the kamana Paramatma and us. Can he have a kamana actually? He is a purna, kama is infinite. Then what could be his kamana there? Not like ours, which is born out of incompleteness to become complete. Therefore, at that time we exhaustively discussed. Kamana is not bad, but kamana for what is bad? That like kamana for studying Shastra is not bad. Kamana to know the truth is not bad. Therefore, the negative aspect, the binding aspect of the desire we have to eliminate. Otherwise, the whole world is running only because of Shubhecha. So therefore, the Bhagavan's desire is to express his infinitude into multiple form. And out of luxury he has done, he has not come under the sway. His kamana is not born out of vasana under compulsion. It is his own kamana out of his own wisdom. That I want to play the play. And for the jivas, I want to give the fields for their sadhana. All that we have discussed. Why the Srishti and all. So, second point, we have seen bullet point. First one is Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma. उससे पहले वाला ऐड किया हमने ब्रह्म विदापन फलम. उसके बाद वाला the उपलब्धि स्थान and फलश्रुति. All those four things put together is one package. The Sutra Vakya, then Lakshana Vakya, then Upalabdhi Sthana and Falashruti. All of the sadhana is the one which is being explained later on and more elaborately in the next new Valli. In the second point, we have seen up to So Kamayata, up to यहाँ से लेकर के अन्नमयांतम तत्सृष्ट्वा up to this. Second point. तस्माद्वा ये तस्मादात्मना आकाश सम्भूत यत्साद इत्यादि अन्नात् पुरुषः सवा एष पुरुषो अन्नः समयः. Up to that, Annara Samaya Purushaha or Annamaya Srishti is the second point. So, in that again, whatever is said, if you can remember, what is the thing? Two main things to be remembered are what? To that Akasha, which is Parsha Guna, when one Guna added, called Shabda Guna, which has got added one Guna called Sparsha, Akasha only appearing as the Vayu. Appearing as Vayu. Is it not? Like when I add more degrees, I appear a little higher because of those new degrees. I did not become, I was not absent earlier to become or get born or created. So to one more guna added to that, then from that came the Agni. Fourth one added the Vayu, Jala. Then fifth added the Prithvi has come. All these things we have to remember. One, second is what? Because these things have come from Brahman, Brahman is very much in them as whatever they are is Brahman only. प्लास्टिक से बना हुआ चेयर पूरा प्लास्टिक ही है. That is a very crucial thing. But that objective knowing of Brahman as these Pancha Mahabhutas or Pancha Mahabhuta made upadhis will not give us liberation. Objectively known Brahman. Therefore, Brahman has to be subjectively experienced. That is why entire exercise. And it is known as, I know everything is Brahman. तो क्या उससे मुक्ति हो रही क्या हमको? No, I understood the whole world is nothing but name and form. And that name and form is superimposed on the pure substratum which is Satyam Jnananta Brahma. इससे मुक्ति हो गया क्या? So the objective knowledge never gives liberation. Like everything. I know cooking. And cooking is done like this, so wonderful, great art. That will not remove your hunger. You have to make the food and eat, then only. Same way, ब्रह्म विद्या को ऑब्जेक्टिवली पढ़ने से कोई फल मोक्ष का नहीं मिलेगा. उसको सब्जेक्टिवली एक्सपीरियंस करना. I am Brahman. In this way, that's the struggle of all the Upanishads, all satsangas. उसका एकमात्र उद्देश्य ही ये है. So two things we have seen. Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma. Second is Akashadi Annamayantam Srishtva. अब दोनों को पढ़ा. That same Brahma whose Sarupa Lakshana is Satyam Jnanantam, it has been created Akashadi Annamayantam. ये दो लाइन का अर्थ. यहाँ in this Anubandha Bhashya for the Bhrugu Valli, and the completeness of it, we added all the things from the main mantras. So what is the third bullet point? First bullet point is Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma. Second is he is the one who created from the Akasha up to Annamaya, which is called Karyam effect. Akashadi Annamayantam Karyam Sruštva. Now the third one is important. Tad eva anupravishtam. Tad eva anupravishtam. He has entered the creation which he has done. रिमेंबर, आकाश लेक से लेकर अन्नमय तक, और अन्नमय में रहने वाले पांचों कोशों में हर जगह पे भगवान हैज एंटर्ड. And how is entered is a brilliant $1,000,000 important point, which is already discussed here in a simple summarized form. Bhagavan Adi Shankara is saying us ki Visheshavat iva upalabhyamanam. How he has entered? Vishesha iva upalabhyamanam. Brahman is not nirvishesha rupena available, but Vishesha rupena he is expressing. For one side, to conduct the world outside; second, to by transcending those visheshas to reach to the nirvishesha Brahma. That's what just now he said. In the Akasha, in what way the Brahman has entered? In Akasha, he is entered as a Vishesha. What is the Vishesha of the Akasha? The Shabda Guna. The Brahman, having created Akasha, entered the Akasha Shabda Guna. And he having created the Vayu, he entered the Akasha, Shabda and Sparsha, both, because Vayu ke dono guna hai. So the Shabda Sparsha Rupi Vishesha, if you remove, the Vayu is Brahman only. So if you remove the Shabda from the Akasha, Akasha is Brahman only. So from the Brahman, when the Akasha came, Brahman alone is expressing as a Vishesha in it called as Shabda. And so too, the Vayu is Sparsha. When it came Agni, Brahman alone, through Agni expressing as Shabda Sparsha Rupa Vishesha. So too from the Jala, add one more, the Rasa. And from the Prithvi, the Anna, the Shabda Sparsha Rupa Gandha. If five Vishesha ke roop mein Brahman is expressing, that expression of Brahman in these 5 ways of Vishesha is called as Brahman's entry into that. Pravesh. Now becomes subtle here. Therefore, in these Vishesha Rupa, Brahman is expressing. But expressing Brahma will help us in Vyavahara, not in Moksha. So if you want the Moksha, we have to have the inexpressed Brahma. So you have to have the inexpressed Brahma, then the expressions of Brahma you have to transcend. That is what is meditation. So to the same Brahman in the Annamaya Kosha is existing as existence only, Satta Matra, but objective. I know the body is existing. In the Pranamaya Kosha, existence as well as Kriya Rupena. Body is only existing, it doesn't do Kriya. In the body, all the Kriyas happen because of Pranamaya Kosha. Existence and Kriya. In the Vijnanamaya Manomaya Kosha, existence is Satta Rupena, Kriya, the action Rupena, and Jnana Rupena. Bhagavan only expressing. That's called Vishesha Rupena expression. Then, in the Vijnanamaya Kosha, Bhagavan is expressing as existence also, Kriya also in there, and Jnana, and the fourth one is Jnatru. The knower. Mind is not the knower. Mind is the instrument of knowledge. Senses are instruments of knowledge. The knower is always in Vijnanamaya Kosha. ज्ञाता के रूप में विशेष रूपेण is expressing. And in the Anandamaya Kosha, he is expressing as the reflected Ananda in the Upadhi. The Upadhis are two, the Shantamana, when we are in the waking and dream plane, and the Bijavastha, Avidya. In the Avidya, the Ananda is reflected in what? Because of the absence of the trio or the Dvaita or the struggles of Jagrata and Swapna. जागृत स्वप्न के समस्याएं नहीं होने के कारण निद्रा में और रिलेटिव आनंद है. इट्स नॉट एन एब्सोल्यूट आनंद. इन अदर वर्ड्स, इट इज आनंद ऑफ ब्रह्मन रिफ्लेक्टेड in ignorance, avidya vritti. So in this way, Brahman is expressing at every level in this Visheshana Rupa. That Visheshana Rupa expression of Bhagavan is called entry of Bhagavan. See the clarity with Bhagavan Bhashya, Bhagavan's summary Bhashya when we study. Those who have attended all those classes, this repetition together, it gives such a clarity. So third point we have seen. First, Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma. Second, Akashati Karyam Annavayantam Sushtva. Third is Tadeva Anupravishtam Visheshavat Iva Upalabhyamanam. Visheshavat Upalabhyamanam Iva. So with the Vishesha, the Brahman alone is available to us. Therefore, what is fire? Brahman with Shabda Sparsha Rupa is fire. Brahman with Shabda. And what is Shabda Sparsha Rupa? Vishesha, expression of Brahman only. Together is called fire now. No, from the fire, Shabda Sparsha Rupa Nikaldo, you will experience Brahman. In this way. Now he says next one. Yasmat tasmat sarvakarya vilakshanam adrushyatwadi dharmakam eva anandam tadeva aham iti vijaniyat anupraveshasya tadartatvat. So the meaning of anupravesha we told. Now the purpose of the anupravesha shruti in the next 3 or 4 bullet points our Bhagavan will tell tomorrow. By just seeing in 2 minutes this one what we saw, then the next portion we study very delicately, deliberately, consciously to grasp the essence of the what studied in the Brahma Valli, which is so essential in the context of the sadhana which will be taught in our next भृगु वाली. तो वहां जो साधना बताएंगे किसको पाने के लिए साधना करनी है, ये सब इस ब्रह्म को. अबाउट दैट दिस इज सेड हियर, सेड इट इज सेड हियर. So therefore this avatarika, which is a summary of the earlier Valli, is very, very essential to smoothly flow in this next third Bhrugu Valli's understanding as well as sadhana. Let us see it tomorrow. Om 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 Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Sri Gurubhyo Paramarshibhyo Parabrahmane Shruti Matre Namaha. Samasta Brahma Vidyacharya Vyarma Veda Vyasvaishampayana Yajnavalkya Hadya Shankaradi Gurubhyo Asmat Gurubhyo Namam Tatsat. Brahma Arpanamastu. Thank you.